Slimdog. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. What's up?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Not too much. I had just gone to the bank, and I was trying to get my money deposited before you guys called. So I'm in my car, and so I wouldn't get the phone call, and then end up wrecking my car because I'm talking to you guys.
Okay. Do you want me to call back then?
Huh?
Do you want me to call back?
No. We can talk now. I'm sitting in the parking lot right now, so it's real cool. It's real cool.
Okay. Sweet. Can you tell me a little bit about Slimdog for our interview?
Yeah. Slimdog is my nickname. Of course, my name is David Bell, and I got the name Slimdog back in like 1984. Actually, no, 1978, 79, when I was a sophomore, junior in high school, and a friend gave me that nickname. So it's actually not a name of a group, it's actually my nickname, and I just changed it to Slimdog Productions because when I was doing the music and stuff, people thought I was doing the rapping also, but I'm not doing any rapping or anything. I'm just doing the music part of it, and then I'm finding artists and stuff to work with. And so I started back in 2004 doing beats and stuff like that, and decided to put my music on SoundClick.com just to see how people would like the music. And people started liking the music, and then I started having people calling me for collabs and stuff, and it just started going from there, and a wind falling from there. So I've only been doing it for 4 years, believe it or not. So, but I do have a music background. I mean, I played drums in grade school since 5th grade. Played in high school, jazz, music, orchestra, and then I stopped playing in college for a while. I want to get back to, doing it again, live drums and stuff. So, but I do have some music background.
Okay. Did you work with any previous bands or have any albums out currently?
No, I didn't work in any previous bands. Basically, it was just the high school stuff. I got asked, to do some bands and stuff like that, but at that time I wasn't really into it. And as far as albums, I haven't done any albums yet, but right now me and a few artists we're working on singles, and hopefully this spring, Noble and I, Noble's from Colorado Springs, and him and I are talking about doing an EP of a mixtape this spring. And then eventually what I want to do is do a collab album, maybe this summer, with all the artists that I've worked with, and the songs, that we think are really hot, and the songs that have been real popular on the sites and stuff, and put it together and make an album that way. So hopefully this summer, by the end of the summer, we'll have an actual album out.
What artists have you worked with that's well known?
Yeah, right now I'm working with a bunch of artists. Right now I'm working with Noble out of Colorado Springs. I'm also working with Too Mental. We actually had a single, Dear Moms, featuring Jules. They're both out of the Austin area, that hit #1 on Cashbox magazine, and hit #1 December 17th, that week of December 17th. And right now at Cashbox magazine, it's #3 on the charts right now. So we're real proud of that. I'm also working with Certified out of Akron, a guy named Kembo that's out of Jacksonville, Florida. I've worked with M7, who's out of Austin, and Crew 54, they're out of Killeen, Texas. I've done some with independent artists here and there, but the main people that I'm working with right now are Too Mental out of Austin, my boy Noble here in the Springs, 2 new guys named Blackjack, and I forget what the other guy's name is. He's from New York, but they call themselves the Council, so you'll be hearing new stuff from us on that. So, and I've also worked with the Unknownn, which is a very popular trip-hop band out of the UK, in England, in London, England, outside of London, England. So, so I've got a chance to work with a lot of great artists from around the world.
Okay. Okay. How has your music evolved or changed since you first started playing way back in the day?
How did it change?
Yeah. Has it changed much or?
Yeah, actually, I've gotten better. I've taken in. When I first started, I was pretty basic with the music and stuff, and now I've become more complex over the last year and a half, and I go back and listen to some of the stuff I did when I first started in 2004, and some of it's kind of simple. I've become more complicated, use more instruments and stuff like that, and I think people will notice a difference from the stuff that I've collabed with in 2004 from the stuff that I'll be having out in 2008. So I'm always learning. I'm always picking up new stuff, new techniques. I wouldn't say I'm picking up techniques from any artist like Pharrell or Dr. Dre, even though I respect those guys a whole bunch. I'm trying to do my own thing, bring my own sound, my own style to the hip-hop game. So I just hope I keep getting better and better, and I hope that people, will enjoy the music.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any current remixes coming up or plans?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that's coming up in 2008. I have some new stuff with Two Mental and a young lady named Kendra Lagarin. She's an R&B artist. She actually hit #1 on Cashbox as well. We got a collab, a hip-hop collab with that. I got some new stuff with Noble that's coming out real soon, and the Council. Man, hot stuff, old school type music. You guys will really enjoy it. Club type tracks. I just put a new single instrumental up on my site on MySpace. You can check it out at myspace.com/Slimdog Productions. It's called Stroke, and I'm going to have the Council, which is Noble Black Jack, and his friend from New York City. They're going to rap on that one. That one's going to be really hot. I already got people actually putting it on their stations and stuff already, and I just did it last night, so that's up there. And Kimbo has got a song called Freshness that I should be getting a track to that today, and then we're going to check it out and maybe put some female background vocals on it. So I got a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming out. So, all you people stay tuned. 2008, I call it the year of the dog because I think people are really going to recognize us and feel us, and I think we're going to get well known at least in underground market of hip hop, but we hope, bigger and better things as well too.
So is that the underground scene that you're affiliated with, the hip-hop?
I would say pretty much it's the underground scene. I'm an independent artist. I would say, underground hip-hop, but it's a mixture of everything. I also do R&B. I do some jazz stuff. I do some electro stuff. And so you can call me an underground artist. I wouldn't say I'm in one particular genre like hip-hop or whatever, but I mostly do hip-hop, R&B, but I do a little bit of everything. So you just call me a jack of all trades, basically.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about mixtape? You said that that's the main thing you're promoting, and you said your brother was coming out with it?
About the mixtapes?
Yes.
Mixtapes, like one friend said, almost every hip-hop person makes a mixtape to get themselves heard. I've been on a instrumental mixtape from Coast to Coast, which is out of Portland, and it helps get your music and stuff heard in the major cities, in the major markets. Like my boy Noble out of Colorado Springs just got offered to send some hip-hop tracks on the mixtape magazine. Hopefully it'll make it in Atlanta. We'll probably sending that today. And what happens is that with that mixtape, it's going to be distributed throughout Atlanta, like 5,000 copies. Wow. It's going to have a major name label artist on it. The magazine is called Making It Magazine, and they put out a mixtape like every quarter. And it helps get your name out there. So big industry artists hear it. And if people are feeling, it's a kind of a barometer. If people are feeling the music and stuff that you have, then they'll come and check out your sites, and then you get the fans, and then you get the major labels looking at you because the word out on the street is that you're really good. So it's a good chance to get your stuff out there. If you ever have a chance, or anybody out there, you ever have a chance to get on the mixtape, get on the mixtape. And one thing about being on the mixtape is if you're an unknown artist, you're going to have to pay to get on the mixtape. That's the one thing about it. And some people, can afford to pay it, but if you believe you're a serious artist and your music is good enough that you think the major labels will listen to it, then, work hard to get your money to get yourself on that mixtape, because it goes out to DJs, and that's how you get, your name out there, is with the DJs and the radio play and stuff like that. So if you get a chance to get on a mixtape, get on a mixtape.
They made a movie about it, did they not?
Yeah, my cousin did. My cousin, Walter Bell, and Jerry Thompson out of New York City did a movie on the mixtape industry and how it started and where it's going. And the mixtape business is called Mixtape Inc. You can check it at, I better do this shameless plug, at can-do-entertainment.com, or you can go to mixtapeinc.com. And it's about the mixtape industry, how it started, and where it's going now. And it's become such a big business. Before, it was, small business. The major labels weren't worried about it. And now major labels use it to help promote their artists secretly, but also major labels want to get the bigger piece of the pie because it's become such a billion-dollar business. It's become such a big business. Now they want a piece of the pie now that it's become successful. And that's where you had DJs like DJ Cannon get arrested because, these major labels are now turning around and saying, hey, it's illegal, it's copyright infringement, you're using our artists, you're using music that you don't have a right to use the music for, and these DJs out here are getting arrested and stuff, and a lot of these major labels are actually getting their artists to get on these mixtapes, so it's a double-edged sword, and it's the movie just shows how the RIAA, which is the Recording Industry Artists of America, I think is what it is trying to get into this game and stuff, and it's kind of making these DJs and stuff that push that music out there, because mixtapes are the heartbeat for hip hop, for R&B. It's what gets the word out on the streets, and it's about basically how the big business is trying to get in and try to take over, where the small guys have, worked hard and got it to where it is now. So it's a really good movie, so go check it out. I mean, you can get it at major, like Netflix. It's on Netflix. You can get it at Fry. Some Walmarts and major markets have it, so go check it out. It's a really tight movie. I got 5 beats on it, and there's some independent artists like the Kick Drums, and the international version, I think the version that's in Canada and France has Kanye West and 50 Cent in it. So it's really good. It's a really good movie. It shows about hip-hop and stuff. So if you want to learn about the mixtape industry and, what it does and where it's going, that's the movie to check out.
That's cool. What do you think of the music industry today and where it's going, like the pros and cons of it?
It's weird. It's really weird. I see that rock and roll is making a real good comeback. I'm glad, because I'm a rock and roll fan. Love rock and roll. As far as the hip-hop, is kind of stagnant right now. If you're a hip-hop fan, you notice that the gangster rap has kind of died down. Right now, Southern hip-hop is the big thing. But right now, I think hip-hop is pretty stagnant, because a lot of the hip-hop that's out now is more materialistic type hip-hop, talking about, how much money you got, how big your necklace is around your neck, how much ice you got, how many girls you can get. When I was, I'm 43 years old, so, they would say I'm too old for the hip-hop game, but I consider myself the first generation of hip-hop. Hip-hop came out when I was 16 years old, so, if you want to say, if you lived hip-hop, I've lived hip-hop. I DJ'd in Colorado Springs back in the mid-'80s when hip-hop first started. We had a radio show where I DJ'd, and me and the player was another DJ, and we tried to get hip-hop, hitting here in Colorado Springs, and we had a #1 show and stuff. And that's when hip-hop was just good. You go out, have a party, and the only, fights that you had was battles on the mic. And I think slowly but surely it's coming that way. I think people are getting tired the dumbed down lyrics. They want to hear people that talk about real things that are going on in life, and have good lyrics. And I've been really blessed as far as meeting guys that study hip-hop, meeting artists that study hip-hop, that love hip-hop, like Noble loves hip-hop, loves the old hip-hop. Too Mental loves the old hip-hop, big Tupac fan. Guys that really want that meaningful hip-hop back, that not just the big bass and, the simple beats and stuff. They want, the soul feel to it, the way hip-hop was like in the late 80s and early 90s when hip-hop was at its best. I think it's slowly coming back to that. So as far as the hip-hop game right now, it's stagnant, but I think the independent artist right now, if you're an independent hip-hop artist, if you do that real old-school hip-hop or try to bring a new type of game with some good lyrics and stuff, you're really going to get heard, because I think the major industry for hip-hop now is starting to recognize that. People want the real lyrics and stuff, so it's slowly getting that way. So I think hip-hop over the next 2-3 years is going to get really good because of that. So.
Right. Do you have a constant changing approach to recording and mixing your music?
Have you there?
Do you have a constant changing approach to recording and mixing your music with other artists and yourself?
Pardon me?
To keep up to date, do you have a constant changing approach to recording and mixing your music?
As far as recording and mixing?
Yes. Do you keep
shoot, I do all the recording and mixing. Noble does a lot of the engineering.
Okay.
Slimdog Productions is basically, it's not just me, it's a group of us, and we all do our own stuff, and we've gotten really good compliments on how clear and how great our music and stuff is. It's because we all have an ear.
Right.
We all have a good ear for music. You need to have a good ear. You just can't go out there and just make a beat. Everybody's like, well, I can do that, I can do that.
But
it takes a lot more. You got to have the love for the music. You got to know what people need to hear. I love doing the mixing. I love making the music. Noble loves to mix down the engineering part of it. He's a geek. Noble's a geek. Tumento's getting into the mixing and stuff. So we all do our own stuff, and I love it. And I do send some material out. Like right now, I'm working with a gentleman named Brian Jerome out of Washington, D.C., not Washington, D.C., but Washington State. And he's an R&B artist. He opened for Confunction and Zap and those guys. And I sent a track up to him, and they're actually going in to do serious studio work and stuff with it as well, too. So there's some, I love doing the mixing. I love that aspect of it. I love making the music and stuff. And so far it's been good. The feedback that we've received on our stuff, on how clear and how great sounding our music is. So,
you're always
we can only go up from from where we're at. So I hope people enjoy what we do.
But are you always changing and trying new things within the new
Yes,
artists?
I'm always trying new things.
Okay.
Like you'll hear later on this year. Other than that, the hip hop and stuff, I do some R&B. I'm dabbling in the electronic stuff. I'd like to try to do some trip hop. Try to do some jazz. I'm always changing, always trying new styles. I really like mixing genres. I like really mixing jazz and hip hop. I like mixing techno and hip hop. They're saying that Kanye West kind of broke the mold last year with his new album, because he brought Daft Punk, which is electronic, trance band, mix it with the hip hop and stuff, but it's always been around. That's always been around, that style. Kraftwerk, brought that style. I used to pop and break dance to that, me and my boys back in the day. So it's nothing new. It's been around for a while. But I like to dabble, mixing genres and stuff, trying something new. Like I have one beat that's classical mixed with hip hop, and I've gotten really good feedback on that. And I got my boy Noble. He's gonna try to put something to that, because I've really gotten good feedback on mixing the classical and the hip hop. So we'll see. I experiment with a lot of stuff, try to throw new things out there, because that's what record labels want to hear. They want to hear new things out there. That's what people want to hear, something new instead of the same old that you hear on radio all the time. So I'm always experimenting. I'm always changing, you know, and the day that I stop trying to do something different will probably be the time that I'll stop doing music. So.
Okay. What's your criteria for a well-mixed or engineered song?
The criteria?
Yeah.
First, I gotta like it. You know, I gotta like it. You know, if it makes my head nod, you know, I love it. You know, and then I'll turn around and take the song and let Tumeno listen to it. You know, each one of those guys, Noble, Tumeno, Certified, they each have their own style, so I kind of know what they kind of like and stuff. And then when I have something that I like, I'll throw it at them to see if they like it. You know, there's some stuff that they don't like of mine. There's some stuff that they don't use, and that's fine and dandy. And, you know, everybody, you know, makes a beat that nobody's going to like, but it's usually that one beat that you think that you don't like is the one that everybody likes. And Noble has surprised me a couple times. Beats that I thought, you know, that he wouldn't like, or beats that I thought Tumento wouldn't like, they actually loved it, you know. And, you know, Mento would say, you know, this song is hot, this beat is hot, man, we're going to do good with this song. And it was kind of like that with one of the songs, and after he did it, it was actually really good. So I first have to like it, you know, it has to make my toes tap, and before I'll put it out there for somebody else to hear. So, and or get feedback from some of the other guys that I work with. If I get good feedback from them, then I know I'm doing the right thing. But I'll go back a lot, you know, I'll do a bunch of beats, like I have a bunch of beats on my computer and stuff that are just sitting there, and I'll go back and listen to it, and then maybe add something else to it and leave it alone, and then go back to it and then mess with something else on it. So it's just a matter, you know, if I like it or not. But like I said, a lot of times it's the stuff that I don't think is really good is the stuff that the guys actually like to, you know, like to use on their material.
Mm-hmm. What is your main influences, like when you first started out? What were your main influences when you first started out?
Whoops, I can't hear you.
Your main influence when you first started out. Did you have anybody that you influenced you into? Who
influenced me?
Yes.
Shoot, a bunch of people. You know, my mom and dad, when I was little, me and my brother and sister, you know, we listened to old school soul, the OJs, the Platters, the Four Tops, you know, Motown. They even had like Sergio Menendez, you know, Brazil 66. My dad even listened to some like old psychedelic, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Vanilla Fudge. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I do.
Old school for those people out there that are about my age. Vanilla Fudge. You know, and then, you know, there's some artists today like Pharrell that I really like because he brings a different style. Dr. Dre, of course. I love Dr. Dre's work. You know, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. I mean, I'm all over the place. But like one group that's really, really influenced a lot of my style is Mint Condition. Mint Condition is kind of like a underground R&B soul band, and they're amazing. They play live music, and I've loved them since they first began. And they have a different style of doing R&B. They infuse rock and stuff and mix different types of genres in their work, and so they kind of influenced me. John B is another R&B singer that he produces his own stuff, and he has just this really nice flavor when he produces music that I love. So, you know, those type of people influence me that bring a different type of feel to R&B, or a different type of feel to hip hop, or a different type of feel to rock and roll. So I'm influenced by all major genres. You know, I love everything. You know, I listen to some country music. I listen opera. You know, Noble is a big opera fan, believe it or not. You know, so that's what makes these guys so special. You know, Tumento, Noble, Certified. You know, these guys, Crew 5-4, special in my eyes because they listen to other stuff other than just hip hop. You know, you can't become a versatile artist if you just stick with one type of one type of genre influence. You know, you gotta listen to all all types, because that helps bring that variety, that versatility in your style and in your game as well too.
For sure. What about your songwriting process? Do you ever your songwriting process? Do you ever write about personal experiences? Like, what do you draw from inspiration for your songwriting process?
Write about what?
When you're writing your songs?
Uh-huh.
What do you write about personal experiences, or do you have an inspiration when you write your songs?
It depends on what mood I'm in. Really, it really depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm in a good mood, you know, my music will be upbeat and stuff. If I'm in a kind of a down mood, you know, my music will be more melancholy. Or if I'm angry, I'll do an angry, angry type beat and stuff. It just depends on what I feel. And the great thing about that is that when people like Noble or Too Mental, those guys do their material on my music, they actually get emotional off of it, which is the telltale sign if you're doing your job as a producer. If the artist feels the music, like when Too Mental did Dear Moms, he did the first verse and stuff, and he called me, and he said, "Man, I cried. I cried while I was doing this." And I was like, that's what a producer wants to hear. That you bring emotion. Like, Noble is more raw. He's from the Bronx, originally. And so he's got a more tough exterior. He came from the school of hard knocks. And, a lot of times he'll call me, he said, "Man, I just went all out on that. I was just feeling that." You want your artist to feel the music that you give them and stuff, and that's the ultimate compliment. So, not only do I want to set the mood with the music that I create, but I want to set the mood for the artist as well too.
Okay. How do you feel the internet's working out for you for collaborating with like promotional people and the fan base, and as a marketing
thing in the world? I think it's the best thing. The best thing to happen for independent artists in a very, very long time. It's a definite blessing, because I would have never got hurt, if I didn't go on SoundClick. I'd have never got hurt if I went on MySpace. I'd have never got hurt if I went to IAC Music. I would have never got on Cashbox magazine if I didn't place music for people to hear on IAC Music. People don't know what the power, a lot of artists don't know what the power of the internet can do. And I always tell the people that I work with, you never know who's listening. You never know who's listening to your work. Don't be, a lot of people, when they put their stuff on MySpace, they get disappointed because they're not getting the numbers, right now the big thing on MySpace is that, I got 50,000 fans and I got, 1 million plays. That doesn't mean anything now, because they got programs and stuff where you can put in the numbers, where you can get labels and stuff. It's more, to me, it's not about the numbers or how many plays I got. It's more about who's listening out there, and that's why I'm so grateful that people like you, and listen and come in and comment. I can reach people in Canada. I can reach people in the UK. If you go to my MySpace site, you can see where people are listening from. India, oh my God, India. Who would thought, they would be listening to my music in India, or listening to my music in Australia or New Zealand or South America? It's amazing. The internet is an amazing tool if you use it correctly, if you use it right. It's a great thing. I think it's the best thing to happen for indie music. And I think finally, the major labels are finally starting to notice this. They're finally starting to notice how powerful the internet is, and they're starting to go on these independent sites and look for these independent artists and stuff like that. So it's a good time to be an indie artist with the internet and stuff.
Okay. What advice do you have for people who want to form their own bands or get into being a solo artist? in that genre that you're in?
How to?
Yeah, like what advice do you have for people wanting to break into the genre
Be
that you're
you.
in? Okay.
Do you. Don't try to be the next Pharaoh. Don't try to be the next Dr. Dre. Or don't try to be the next Fall Out Boy. You know, be yourself. The one thing, especially if you want to become a major label artist and get discovered by a major label, you don't want to sound like somebody else, because the major labels will tell you, hey, we already got a Fall Out Boy, we already got a Dr. Dre, we already got a Pharrell. Be yourself. Do what you do. And the best compliment that I've gotten is from people like you and people that listen to my music that say, man, your music is different, but it's good. I like listening to it because it's different, because you bring a different style. Be yourself. And that's the one thing, when I got together with Noble, when I got together with Two Mental, when I got together with Kenbo, I told them, be yourself, do what you do. Don't try to sound like Tupac. Don't try to sound like Biggie Smalls, because it's already been done. If you're a rock band, if you're a jazz band, do your own style, create your own style. That way, that's how you get listened.
Okay. What do you think of our music site at Hollywood Music TV?
I love it. I joined it about a year ago. I tried to wait until I get more music and stuff put up. Like this year, I'm definitely going to go all out on Hollywood. I kind of have the site there. I don't think I put anything up there, but right now, because so much is happening and so much is going on, and thanks to you and everybody in Canada and Tim Hortons and listening to the music, we're really starting to get heard. Like later on this afternoon, I got to send a interview package to Atlanta, and then my boy Two Mental's got a cover on WWSmag.com that's coming up. Awesome. So we're really starting to get known there in the underground scene and stuff. So I go by Hollywood Music TV, and check out everything, and there's great artists and stuff on there. And I love some of the rock, and I love some of the stuff that's on your guys' sites. And I was on there actually last night, listening to some of the music. It's amazing music, amazing artists. And if this interview gets out to major labels, you need to go by those sites and check out the artists. There's some amazing artists there, and there's some great music there. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I just go to your guys' sites. I go to independent sites, because the independents now are way better than what the major labels have to offer. So, if you're a good artist, if you think you're good, if you're just starting out and you want to get heard, get a hold of Tina, get a hold of Gracie, and let your music be heard. Let your music be heard. So, like I said, this year I got this new music coming out, so I'm going to be placing it on the sites there. So, and make myself more available now, since we're starting to get recognized a little bit more.
Can you plug in your web address for Hollywood Music?
Pardon me?
Can you plug in your web address for Hollywood Music?
Yeah, exactly. I love Hollywood Music. You guys, it's helped me a lot. You guys have been following me since the beginning, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful that you guys have taken the time to listen to my music and listen to my podcast and come by and comment. And I'm so glad that you guys are doing so well up here in Canada with Hollywood Music, and I hope you guys just, cover all of Canada, and you guys rock is what you guys always say to me. You guys rock, and Hollywood Music TV rocks. Tina and Gracie rock. I love it, and you're going to hear more from us, and you're going to hear more from Hollywood Music TV.
For the new fans, Slimdog, what's your URL or your web address for Hollywood Music and your MySpace site and your Podomatic? can you?
You can go myspace.com / Slimdog Productions. Hollywood Music / Slimdog is what I got there. For SoundClick, it's soundclick.com / Slimdog Productions. All you have to do, you can even, it's gotten so good for me, you could either pull up Slimdog as well on Google or Slimdog Productions on Google, and you can get all the sites that, because I'm on a bunch of sites. I'm on so many sites, some of them I don't even remember, but if you just type in Slimdog or Slimdog Productions, that's the way that you can get to me as well, too.
Okay, what are your goals and hopes for the future?
Everybody asks me, do I want to go major? Yes, it would be nice to go major label. I would love to have my own label, my own personal label or my own production company, and I think that's what we're all kind of gearing, where we can do our own stuff. But in the future, my dream is within the next 5 years. I have some land in southwestern Colorado that's just absolutely gorgeous, surrounded by mountains all over. Got right now about 2.5 acres. We're talking about getting more. I'd like to build a retirement home there or a getaway home there, and I'd like to put a nice big studio in there where I can fly people out, like you guys, or fly, the artists that I work with out to help get them inspired and just do music there, have a good time, kick back and relax. I'm just not one of those big city types. I'm more, I like to be around nature because it helps inspire me, and that would be the perfect dream, is to have that retirement home with a nice little studio there and just kick it on the porch, look at the sunsets and the sunrise, look at the mountains, and help get inspired to do, more great music in the future.
Sounds great. Okay, before we close our interview, do you have any last words or any shout-outs you want to...
Pardon me?
Before we close our interview off, do you have any shout-outs or any last words?
Yeah.
Okay.
This could take a while. Of course, I like to thank God. I've been so blessed. As you guys know, 2007 was a really, really tough year for me. I lost my father, lost 2 uncles, 2 cousins, couple friends. So it was a really tough 2007. But I still have my faith. So God and Jesus is my number one inspiration for what I do. I like to thank my boys, 2 Mental. I like to thank my boy Noble. I like to thank my boy Certified. I like to thank Crew 5-4, the whole M7 music movement. I like to thank you guys there in Canada, Tina and Gracie. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your support. I like to also thank Tim Romines, who does Outsiders Only. He helped me get some stuff out there with interviews and stuff. I like to thank them. I like to thank my boy Kimbo out there in Jacksonville. I like to thank him as well. I like to thank also, the love of my life, my wife and my kids and my mom and all of my brothers and sisters and their family and stuff, because they've supported me all the way through this. I know in the beginning when I first started, they were like, yeah, right, you're going to do music, but they've seen me grow, and now it's being taken more seriously, but they've always had my support. So my family, I love them to death. Love you guys. And also, to all the artists out there that, we may be collabing with in the future, like Black Jack and the Council and all those guys, like to say thank you and thanks for the love, and you're going to hear a lot from us in 2008. 2008, year of the dog.
Okay, thank you, Slimdog.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, like I said, 2 Mental as well, too. I give you guys their numbers, Noble's number, if you want to make a quick shout to them and talk to them real quick and say hello to them. Please feel free to. They're waiting on you guys. So.
Okay, great.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been great talking to you guys, and I love what you guys do, and I hope, for your continued support and, through all of this, and I thank you for your support and stuff, and, you guys just keep bumping that music up in Canada.
Oh, we will for sure. I'm looking forward to your next podcast.
All righty.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.